Hey everybody, Brian Zane here. Well, this Sunday, AEW presents its third edition of Double or Nothing, airing on BR Live, and it's emanating from Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida, in what has been reported is going to be a full capacity show. I'm pretty sure this will make it the first full capacity event for wrestling in America since the pandemic took place. And it's going to be interesting to see just how that looks in the 5,500 person capacity venue that is Daly's Place. There is a lot to talk about with this show. I am filming this though on Tuesday night, which means Friday Night Dynamite has not happened yet. Things with the card might change, but I probably not, I would think. So I'm going to just give you my best educated guesses as to what's going to happen based on what the programming has already shown us. Beginning with the Casino Battle Royal, these are always tough to call, I feel, because there's so many names. There's always a few names where you could kind of like justify or argue, oh, this person could win because at XYZ you could make this path. But I mean, I think this one feels pretty predictable. It feels like Christian Cage could be the guy to walk out of this one. I mean, he debuted a few months ago. He's had some good momentum, but like he needs like a big kind of like signature win or something kind of like to get him in that next like level of a storyline, possibly with Kenny Omega and stuff. So, you know, I could see Christian Cage being the one to win this time. And speaking of Cage, Brian Cage from Team Taz is going to be taking on Hangman Adam Page in singles action. This one I feel could go like either way, because you could make a story of like, oh, like if they are pumping the brakes on Brian Cage leaving the group, which does seem to be like how it's looked lately on TV, and maybe I'm wrong about that, but maybe they are pumping the brakes and Cage just beats Page here, or maybe Page gets revenge on Cage for beating him a few weeks ago, and we could get the win here at the expense of some kind of Team Taz thing that backfires. Like Taz tries to interfere, or Ricky Starks tries to interfere, and it doesn't go well, and so more frustration with Cage, which would prompt him to eventually leave. So I'm going to go with my gut here and say that Page will win, and it will be because of something backfiring with Team Taz. Sting and Darby Allin will take on Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. Got a lot of AGE sounding names in this show. I'm glad this is the last one I think I have to talk about. But yeah, this is going to be the first live in-ring wrestling match for Sting since his match with Seth Rollins on pay-per-view many years ago. So it's going to be interesting to see how Sting will be presented and how he will look when he is not protected by like the sheen and the editing magic of the street fight we saw a couple of months ago against Team Taz. I think he'll look fine. I mean, it depends on what they do with him in this, but I mean, we've seen snippets of what he can do in the ring, so I mean, I'm optimistic about it. As far as the other three guys go, I think it's gonna be a great showing for all three of them. I mean, just the fact that, you know, Ethan and Scorpio are gonna be wrestling Sting in 2021, and like, who could have possibly guessed that that's where their careers could have gone at this point? I've become slowly more interested in Ethan and Scorpio as a team. Hated it before because I like the idea of the big singles guys, but like I said on Who Wore Better, if their first angle as a team is going against Sting and one of their hottest young talents in Darby Allin, you could do worse. So as far as who's going to win this one, again, that's kind of tough because I could see Ethan and Scorpio getting a big landmark win, and then that could give them momentum for whatever down the line. But I also know that they have booked Darby, and to a lesser extent Sting, fairly well, and they make them look really good in the end. And I think that Darby still, you know, I don't think it's time to start having him lose a whole bunch yet, even though he just lost the TNT title. So, you know, again, go with my gut. I think that Darby Allin and Sting are going to come out on top of this one. Cody Rhodes will take on the Factory's Anthony Ogogo in a battle for the soul of the United States of America on the line. Let freedom ring. In all seriousness, though, I think that this match, like this one's kind of a tough one to call, honestly. And this is based on prior history with what we've seen with Cody, because I could see him take the fall in this match, like get a lot of body shots, and we'll be written off again, and like, you know, maybe take time off, you know, be with Brandy while she's about to have her kid, and then he comes back and gets the rematch, gets the win back or something. But I could also see just Cody beating Ogogo here, and you kind of like, that's Ogogo's first big match. He doesn't really have to win it. Like, not every young up-and-comer has to win their first big feud. So I can get that as well. I can understand that, you know, Ogogo might not win this one. I think that no matter what happens, people are going to be mad about the outcome. There's going to be something about this match that's just not going to sit well with people. And we're just going to have to wait and see what it is. Maybe Cody's going to do what, Austin Gunn and Billy Gunn couldn't do, and like no sell the punch, and he'll rise up because he hears Battle Hymn of the Republic or something. And then, I don't know. Something's going to happen with this one. I'm just going to say, fuck it, Cody wins. The new TNT champion Miro will defend his title against Lance Archer, who, fun little fact, was actually challenging Cody Rhodes for the same championship at the same show last year. This has the potential to be a real sleeper hit. It could be one of my favorite matches of the night, because you know how I like, the bigger dudes just beating the piss out of each other. These are two guys who are really good at beating the piss out of their opponents. And so, boy, I want to get the popcorn out for this one. I just want to hear all the big meaty men bumping me. That's what I'm all about at this point. And I think this match is definitely going to deliver. That being said, there is no flipping way Miro is losing this championship so soon after winning it. And I think he's going to just beat Lance soundly here and retain the championship. Lance, you'd love to see him get a push and get the belt and stuff. You'd love to see him kind of come through on that promise that, never got fulfilled even last year. But it's not his time yet, I don't think. Miro's going to walk away the winner in this one. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, will challenge Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's Championship. It's a battle between the longest reigning women's champion in the company's history versus one of the most dominant women in the division in AEW. So I think this is going to be another great match. These two individually and together have shown great chemistry. Injury to Britt's face last year or 2 years ago notwithstanding. But be that as it may, I think it's going to be a great match. I think the way they've built these two ladies has been pretty darn good. Like, Sheida has been just booked as unstoppable, has nigh invincible, winning so many of her matches. And Britt Baker, she's been built so much in the last year and a half through all her injuries and everything, and she's been able to perform in the ring since being healthy. So I think this is going to be great, and I believe that Britt will finally win the championship that's eluded her for so long since the beginning of AEW. And it's been a great run for Sheida, but every championship's got to have an end. I think this is going to be the beginning of a great era for Britt Baker as the new women's champion. The Young Bucks defend the tag team titles against Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley in a match that, or a storyline at least, that's gotten progressively more interesting as the weeks have gone on, and seeing how Moxley and Kingston have been able to kind of like get under the skin of the Elite, and in particular Matt and Nick Jackson. This is going to be a pretty fun match, I would think, here. I believe, though, that the Bucks are going to retain. I don't think the Elite's run of dominance is over quite yet, and I don't believe that the tag belts will change hands here. As fun as it would be to see Moxley and Kingston with the belts, again, the timing kind of seems such similar to Cody, where hey, he might be taking time off for his pending child arriving soon. So I wouldn't really expect him to put the belt on Moxley at this point. So I think it'll be a fun match, be very entertaining. The Bucks will retain. In the second ever Stadium Stampede match, the Inner Circle will take on the Pinnacle, and if the Inner Circle lose, they'll be forced to disband. This matchup, I'm looking forward to seeing just how they can do, or what they will do with a Stadium Stampede match, where the silliness will be cranked down significantly, because it just seems like a lot of the people involved in this match are the kind of guys who don't like a lot of the funny haha stuff that the last Stadium Stampede match had, which of course I and many others really loved. So it's going to be interesting to see, okay, this is the baseline. This is what we think the Stadium Stampede match is. So these 10 guys will now have a chance to really reinvent and kind of reimagine what this match is capable of doing. And can you have a match that both exists as kind of a comedy match, as what we saw last year, and as something more serious and dramatic, which we could see this year? I don't know, but I'm very interested in seeing how they're going to pull that off, and just, how they can explore the space and do it in maybe not such a comical way. Because Jericho's involved, there's still going to be some wackiness going on in here, but I think it's going to be toned down significantly, largely because there's no Matt Hardy in this one and his multiple personalities like we saw in that match. That being said, considering the law of averages here in wrestling, and considering that the Pinnacle won Blood and Guts a few weeks ago, and this is the one where, oh my God, the Inner Circle could disband if they lose, I believe, and Jericho has said himself before that this is not, the Blood and Guts was not the feud ender. Obviously, we're getting this, but I don't even think we're done here. So I think the Inner Circle will win this match. They will stay together, and we'll find some conflict with these two teams again down the line. Maybe some other even bigger blowout face-off match at another pay-per-view in the future. But I think this is going to be a very interesting one. I'm just very curious and very excited to see what they can do with the Stadium Stampede formula and how much they can change it and keep it away from the funny haha stuff, but also keep it interesting. And finally, for the AEW World Title, a triple threat match as Kenny Omega defends against Pac and Orange Cassidy. I think the feel-good thing about this match is going to be, Orange fighting for the belt. There's going to be I just feel the win's going to be taken out of the sails in this matchup because I just have a feeling Omega, well, first of all, he's going to retain, but I also feel he's going to beat Orange Cassidy to do it. And I think it's going to be such like a big letdown. I'm not looking forward to just the sadness because there's going to be, if there's one thing AEW's been good at with their storytelling is making a lot of close calls look super believable. So I think there's going to be moments where, oh my God, Orange is going to win it. Maybe even there's going to be, oh my God, Pac's going to win it. But neither of them are going to win it. I believe Omega's going to retain for the same reason I said the Young Bucks are retaining, in that the Elite is, not going to stop anytime soon. I'm sure we'll see some kind of involvement from other members, if not in the tag title match, in this one as well. And so, yeah, Omega's going to retain. It's going to be a very entertaining matchup. And for a brief moment, I guarantee you there will be at least one point where you think Orange Cassidy has won the championship. But sadly, it's not going to happen. But what do you think is going to happen this Sunday at Double or Nothing? Let me know in the comment section below. And of course, I will see you on the other side with my review of Double or Nothing 2021. I'm Brian Zane, and I'll see you next time.